Thanks for listening to Get in the Hole, your number one stop for all things in the world of golf. Watch and subscribe anywhere you get your favorite shows on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Google, and more. Just search Get in the Hole. Get in the Hole is the official golf pod of the Underground Sports Philadelphia family of podcasts. Now let's get right into the action. Here's your hosts, Steve McAvoy and Ben Pirro.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
So this isn't your normal episode of the Get in the Hole podcast.
No, it is not.
Welcome on in, everybody, to the Get in the Hole podcast, presented by Wasted Wedge. It's KB. No Stephen McAvoy this week. We apologize for no episode last week. He got his wisdom teeth removed, so I don't know how smart he's going to be on return to the podcast next week. But joining me on his now second program on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network, co-host of F1 Underground, avid golf fan, and listener of this show, Owen Liberatore.
Love listening to the show. Thank you for having me on. I was so happy when Casey texted me saying that you reached out and was like, "Hey, can Owen be on the show tonight?" I was like, "Yes, perfect. Time to use all this stored in talking about golf that I hold back from my fiance and my family, just then let it all out at once." I
was like scrambling. Steve was like, "Let's run it tomorrow." And I was like, "Can't do it tomorrow." And if you're listening to this, tune in 7 p.m. Eastern time, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. We've got the PLL college draft watch party extravaganza. I want everybody to think Pat McAfee NFL draft live stream that he does, but make it pro lacrosse. It's going to be absolutely insane. Tune into that. So I was like, we got to run something. I feel bad. We've got sponsors. We can't go 2 weeks without a show.
Yeah.
So I was like, who do I was like, wait a minute. Owen's a big golf guy. Let's get Owen on the show and talk some golf.
Any chance I get, I throw it in there. I mean, it's multiple times on the F1 show, just throwing it in there.
I feel like there's a thing now that every podcast is now just becoming a golf podcast.
Please. I would love that.
Every podcast that people listen to now, at some point there's golf discussion one way or another. It's
just the sport has grown so much, so it makes sense. But you're not wrong. I mean, it's all roads lead back to golf. There you go. Throw that on a shirt.
Throw that on a shirt.
Throw it on a shirt.
Like we mentioned, though, the Get in the Hole podcast presented by Wasted Wedge. Oh, and you got a chance to take in the Wasted Wedge product yourself.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic.
At our live tailgate. Because the new age of golf has arrived, and if you guys are looking to be the talk and envy of your group and create memories with your friends and family, look no further than the lineup of Wasted Wedge products and merchandise. I want everybody to think traditional shot ski that you had at your college parties, except it's not as bulky. There's no hot glue involved. There's no breakable glass involved. It's foldable. It's compactable. Can fit right in the side pocket of your golf bag. And you're using plastic shot glasses. You can throw them out right on the next hole that you're moving to.
Perfect.
Put any alcohol into it. And you're going to be the talk of your golf foursome, your bachelor party, wedding, whatever event you're holding. Great for, golf watch parties over the weekends and stuff like that. They're a blast to drink shots out of on and off the course. You need to check them out at wastedwedge.com or find them at Wasted Wedge on Instagram and Facebook. Check out all their products. They've got great merch, fantastic logo as well. Absolutely love the logo. So definitely go check out Wasted Wedge. Be sure to follow them at Wasted Wedge on Instagram and Facebook. And shout out to Wasted Wedge for sponsoring this show. Owen, it has been quite a bit. Steve made out like a bandit, didn't have to buy Chipotle for anybody.
I'm so upset about that.
Jon Rahm did not win the Mexico Open, but Wyndham Clark wins the Wells Fargo Championship this past weekend. And I have always said he is the living embodiment of a hotel because Wyndham Clark just sounds like a hotel.
It sounds like a hotel, and it's I mean, I don't even know what else I can say with that because you're right on the money with that.
Eagle by Wyndham sounds like a luxury resort.
I mean, that in and of itself right there is literally just throw that on a golf outing thing, and
Easy.
it's perfect. You got the name down, like fantastic.
Oh yeah, we're going down to Augusta and we're staying at the Eagle by Wyndham.
Yeah,
That's
perfect.
a hotel name right there. Like if
That-
Wyndham Clark, when he's done golfing, doesn't open the most like on-brand hotel chain possible, just exclusively at golf courses, he's doing
Yep.
it wrong.
Yep. Each room complimentary wasted wedge inside
Easy.
as well, like ready to roll.
Every
Just so
hand towel is just golf towels.
perfect. Yep.
He's got to do this. He's got to.
This-
Wyndham Clark, let us help you.
Let us please let us help you.
10%. That's all we want. 10%. 10% of the business. We'll make it happen.
Make it happen.
He wins the Wells Fargo Championship, his first PGA Tour win. He sneaks out past Xander Schauffele for a 4-stroke victory, along with a $3.6 million paycheck at the Wells Fargo Championship down in Charlotte. Gets it done at Quail Hollow, and another first-time winner on tour. It feels like it just becomes more commonplace now that we're moving out of like the era of dominance in golf, where it's like you had your reign of terror of Tiger Woods, you had your Phil Mickelson run, you had that run of Rory McIlroy, and even though Rory's still doing his thing, like he was on that tear early in his career. You had the Jordan Spieth run. Now it feels like any given week, anybody can come out of the woodwork and win.
It's always a different name, and I honestly I love it. I love seeing the different names pop up and everything, and I love too, especially like coming off of Full Swing, the documentary. Like you have more ties to these people now. You have Tony Finau winning 2 weeks ago, last week. Like you have that knowledge of him and his family now. It just makes the win feel so much more like it. I don't even know how, like appreciated by him, and like you appreciate it more. It just means so much more to him. But yeah, Wyndham Clark, $3.6 million. I saw a tweet, PGA Tour put it out. It says before his win, his biggest payday was $485,000. And it's like, that's still a crazy amount of money. Like, don't get me wrong. Like somebody handed that to me over a weekend, and for playing golf, I'll take it any day of the week. Yeah, absolutely. But like the fact that this man just won $3.6 million because he played golf, like that's amazing. That's so I'm so jealous. But like it's also again like the names that are popping up and winning tournaments now, it's fantastic, and it's so good for the sport because now everybody can kind of find someone to I like that Wyndham guy. He won last week. It's fantastic. Just bring more people in, keep it rolling, keep winning.
And I've said this a number of times when I've been on the show, like golf, I think more than most like of these like post-pandemic sports that have gained popularity, it's very much like the NBA for like the young fan base, where like obviously there's no team in the PGA Tour format of golf, but like you get attracted to players, and I feel like young NBA fans get attracted to players now more than an actual team. So it's
absolutely.
Like you see somebody win, it's like, oh, that guy's good. If you're in the age demo of, I don't know, 11 to 16, and you are somehow finding yourself watching golf, oh,
good
I like
you,
that
first
guy.
Of all.
That's my guy this week. I'm a fan of that guy now.
Yeah.
And then the next week somebody else wins, and it's like, oh, that's my guy. And like you just accumulate, players that you want to follow along with and stuff like that. And I think that's super beneficial for like the next generation of golf fans, is like just attaching yourselves to players and being able to follow their careers and stuff like that. And especially in, this era of golf where it's not just every single week. It's like, oh, Tiger's going to win. Phil's going to win. It's somebody different every week. And Wyndham Clark's score at the Wells Fargo Championship was the lowest score since 2015 when Rory set a tournament record at 21 under. Finished at minus 19.
That is only a score that I can only dream of.
It's crazy.
I mean, that's nuts. And the fact that he won by four stroke lead is so good for him. Like it's such a good. You kind of were touching on like the point of like it's good for kids and people trying to get into the sport and everything. You can kind of attach yourself to a person week in and week out and everything. But like it's also good for like the PGA as well. Like they're pushing out like different names. Like it allows, I'm going to use him for example, just because it is his first, championship win. Wyndham now has that door open of like potential new sponsors, new teams might reach out to him and say, hey, we want you to use our clubs. It's just the many different people winning the tournaments week in and week out is good for everybody. It makes it so much more enjoyable to watch because it's so much more of a toss-up when you watch it. Like you said, you don't have that, dominance of I'm going to watch another golf tournament this weekend and I'm going to watch Tiger win it. I'm going to watch Phil Mickelson win it. It's every week you're like, I don't know who's got this, and like you can make the point of John Rahm. Like John Rahm has a dominant start to the season and it's like still just winning, countless victories, but like even still, like it's still kind of like a toss-up. I mean, that's golf. Like it's such a hard sport and like anything can happen that like anybody can win. And that's what it makes it so much fun to watch.
And you look at the guys who finished top 3 this past weekend, 2 years ago, nobody would have known who these guys are.
No,
Wyndham
not at all.
Clark, Xander Schauffele, Tyrrell Hatton.
Yeah. Never would have known them.
People would have said those are movie characters.
Yeah. Well, you got a name like Xander Schauffele. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's a weird ass thing.
I mean,
But the guy, I love the guy. He's so like you've
So
watched
fun.
a couple YouTube videos with him, like just like with like YouTube golfers and everything. And he's such a nice guy. He's got such a great personality. Like it's fantastic. And, and it's now like maybe Wyndham Clark will be on a couple YouTube videos. Like it's the more people that win, I think it's better overall for the sport. Like keep it coming, please.
100%. And, maybe now that he's won, Wyndham Clark might decide to go on a trip, Owen. If you had $80,000 of just disposable income, could I interest you in, I'm going to say this in my most Jeff Probst Survivor voice, 26 countries, 48 golf courses, 100 days, one Survivor. There is a
Good work,
trip
first of all.
that it's brought to you by our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company, who have been on board with us for quite some time now. They're the best in the game, and they provide unique designs and high-quality clothing for the great fans of Philadelphia and this podcast. Getting the whole podcast merch available, T-shirts, hoodies. We got some new stuff cooking up for the spring and summer when you're out on the course that you won't want to miss out on. Because with their original designs for all, there's no doubt you'll stand out in the crowd. You'll stand out on the golf course, at the driving range. Even if you're going to Top Golf, no free ads, you're going to stand out, and you're getting the whole podcast merch. And our listeners can use promo code UNDERGROUND for 10% off any apparel when you shop online at phiapparel.co. That's phiapparel.co. Use code UNDERGROUND for 10% off any and all merch orders, and make sure you use that code so they know you're coming from us. Oh, and I found this article on golf.com in like their travel section.
Okay.
This incredible golf trip boasts a 26-country, 48-course itinerary in 100 days for $80,000. Jessica Marksberry wrote the article. We'll link it in the description of this episode. And it starts out, if you're a golfer, you've probably fantasized about taking a dream golf trip, perhaps to a bucket list destination like Pebble Beach, Brandon Dunes, or St. Andrews. But how about a 3-month plus itinerary that includes 48 of the world's best courses? That gives the idea of a dream trip an entirely new meaning, and that's what's on offer from Holidays Please, a Birmingham, England-based network of specialist travel advisors. Billed as the ultimate golf holiday, the continent-spanning trip's base cost is $62,500 Great Britain pounds. That's approximately $78,550 US dollars, and is priced based on participation from at least 4 travelers. So basically, if it's 4 of you, you split that. It's about $20,000 a person.
Easy. It's just a small loan.
On the docket, each of the courses the pros played on the DP World Tour schedule last year, plus this year's Open Championship host, Royal Liverpool. The cost also includes first-class airfare to each location, green fees, accommodation, and private luxury transfers. The itinerary includes stops in 26 countries, numerous courses in the continental Europe, as well as South Africa, the Middle East, India, and Australia. And while the website doesn't list the specific courses on the trip, you can use the DP World Tour's 2022 schedule as a guide, in which highlights included Wentworth, Le Golf National, Marco Simone, Real Club Valderrama, Jumeirah Golf Estates, and the Scottish trifecta of Carnoustie, St. Andrews, and Kingsbarns.
Damn.
I mean, where do we sign?
Yeah.
If some company wants to give us 80 grand, me, you, Steve, insert player X here, we'll go on a 100-day excursion of 48 golf courses.
I'm ready to roll.
That's crazy. Like, I need to talk to the person from this Holidays Please team that thought of this concept. Like, how do you one day just think, let's put together a 48 golf course 100-day excursion for people to buy into?
The part that I hate the most about that, somebody's going to do it. Somebody will buy into
100%.
that. Because the type of people that play golf will be able to afford that. And that's chump change to them. Like,
these are the people dipping into like the 401k, dipping into the Social Security money, and it's like, oh, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Trying to convince their wives, their husbands, like,
yeah,
we got to do it.
I'll only be gone 100 days. Like, it's not
still
that
265. It's a leap year.
Yeah.
2024 is a leap year, honey.
I also want to go off of your point of like who put this together. Like,
right. Like,
imagine that pitch meeting. Like, person walks in, they got their stack of papers just with 48 golf courses.
I want to see the PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Give me the PowerPoint breakdown. Like, I just need to know how this idea was hatched. And like, was it just like a whole, just like, I'm sitting in a cube all day and I thought of this idea and I'm going to make a company excursion out of it? Like, I just need to know the brain process behind the formulation, like the concept, what made you decide on like which countries, which golf courses, like how does it fit into the 100 days? Like, if this person is out, I would love to get them on the show too, to like just pick their brains, because this is like one of the more outlandish in the best way possible, like, trips you can take.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This puts all the Disney trip planners to shame.
It doesn't even, they don't even go near it. I mean, like, come on. And the fact that it's, like you said, first class airfare, green fees are already taken care of. Like, next thing you need,
transportation to each course too.
Yeah. Next thing you need is just to stay in an Eagle by Wyndham and you're good to go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it is just I've looked at plenty of golf trips before. Don't get me wrong. I have, good buddies of mine. We've always talked about it. We're like, we're going on a golf trip. We're going to book 4 days, 3 days, extended weekend, whatever it is. But like, yeah, how do you sit there and just be like, you know what I need right now? I need 100-day golf trip. That's what I need right now with 48 courses.
How do you pack for that?
You hope for a washer and dryer? I mean, come on. Like,
does that come included in like the greens fees? Like, do you get to wash your clothes at the course? Like,
you walk in with a whole laundry basket. You're like, hey, can I borrow your washer and dryer, please?
Like, I do have to say, like, being able to say I went on one singular trip to 26 countries, not many people are going to be able to say that.
Oh, no way. Yeah, no.
And like, it's Europe, South Africa, the Middle East, India, and Australia, like the Australian leg alone. To be able to have the first class airfare and transportation there, I feel like that pays for like half the trip.
It's got to be half the trip. I mean, come on.
That's just.
I also I gotta wonder, like, how long are you staying in each of these locations to the degree of like that Australia flight? I mean, that's God knows how long. You're gonna be playing jet lagged. Like, imagine that round of golf. You land, you like maybe sleep for a couple hours and then wake up and play 18 holes. Like, come on.
That's some Happy Gilmore stuff.
You'd be delirious. there's no way. I mean, it'd probably be the most fun round of golf you'd ever have in your life. You could, not give two shits about your score, but
like how many of the days are travel days?
Yeah.
How long are you staying at each course? Like you said, like
I know it says 100 days, but is the 100 days, does that count travel days? That's what I want to know. Does that count the travel days? Or is that strictly like 100 days you're on location, like ready to golf?
I feel like it's got to include, especially like spanning 26 countries.
I mean, yeah. But again, I just
think you're probably in each country maybe like,
I would say 3 days at most.
Yeah, max.
Like, I mean, it's got to be literally like a day to get there, land, sleep, that day in the middle to golf, to play your round of golf, do whatever activity or whatever else you're doing that night, and then next day you're back on a plane. I mean, I'm terrified of heights and planes, and it make me very uncomfortable. But I think I would tough it out for this. I would at least try to. There would be multiple drinks ordered in the first class to get me through those flights.
That would just be brutal. Like, I want to see like the map itinerary too of like we're going to this like I want to see where like the red dot lines that you see on a map typically, like Dora the Explorer style. Like we're going from here to here.
You go back.
Where it's like Pepe Sylvia and It's Always Sunny, like just explaining the whole breakdown to everybody. Like
we're going to Australia and then we're going to Scotland.
It's all coming to fruition. It's just a crazy trip, and I need to know how this was like thought of. Like, was this just like a 3 a.m. I can't sleep type of thing? So I'm gonna write all of this down, and we're gonna turn this into like a crazy luxury travel thing, or like was it entire like boardroom team type of?
This has got to be a team thing. This has got to be a team thing because there's no way you could think of 48 golf courses to go to on your own, no. And like also, why stop at 48? Did they hit the
what was the decision for 48?
Yeah, did they hit the 100-day mark and they're like, guys, we got to go home at one point? Like,
you're just out on tour for a year.
Yeah. Hey, what are your plans for 2025? Golf. That's my plans for 2025.
I'm going on tour.
Yes.
You, I don't know. Good luck at the office, but
yes, have fun.
I'm going on tour.
I'm taking a year-long sabbatical just to golf.
And there is a link in the article to like find more information about like an itinerary tailored to your individual requirements. But like, good grief! And like,
what are your individual requirements? What else do you need?
Like, you click here. Let's see what it says.
Here, we're already providing all these things for you, but if you need individual requirements, here you go. Like,
let's see if I just search golf on the website.
Yeah, I mean, whoever birthed this idea is an absolute psychopath, and I commend them, and I'm afraid of them.
I want to shake their hand.
Yeah.
Like, this is unbelievable. If you or someone you know would take this excursion, comment on YouTube and let us know. If
please let us know so we can build this. We can build this foursome and get it going.
The amount of content we'd be able to push out in 100 days. The amount of camera batteries we would need.
Oh my God! You would need like. There's your like personal needs, like I need 5 suitcases for all my recording equipment.
like I wonder if anybody like retires from like the PGA Tour, just like professional golf, and it's just like, yeah, this is gonna be what I do.
This is me. This is my life. Yeah.
No, not competitive, but I'm going on a tour of 100 days and just continuing to play.
I mean, again, if I had the money and if I had the time to do this, absolutely. And if anybody's going to have the time and the money to do it, It's a retired PGA Tour golfer.
100%.
Yeah.
And it just blew my mind when I saw like just the breakdown of what this was. So we'll link that article in the description on YouTube and in the show notes
Wild.
on audio. But man, what a trip. What a trip. And like I said, it puts the Disney trip planners to shame because
Oh, yeah.
you're there for like 2 weeks in Disney. 100 days? That's absurd.
I don't even know, like, there's got to be points in that trip where you're, like, miserable because you're, like, hitting a slump,
100%.
like, playing.
You're exhausted.
Yeah. And you're just like, screw this. Like, I'm so done with this. And then it's like, you look at the calendar and you're like, I got 70 days left. Like,
It's
I'm
like
only,
Captain Phillips.
oh my God. Yeah. Like, I'm only a month in. Like, oh God. And like, what are you eating? What are you eating that entire time? You're eating hot dogs off the golf course for 100 days? Like, your diet, your health would go down the drain unless you're walking the courses. But,
if you're walking these courses, you're dead.
You're gassed.
You're crashing.
I walked the 9 holes the other day, and I forgot how tiring it was. I was like, this is brutal.
That's
like,
nuts. 48 courses times 18. Walking.
No, thank you.
Your legs are gone. You're
Gone.
coming back to the States and getting prosthetic legs.
Absolutely.
That's brutal.
Ugh.
If people don't know, I am obviously a huge comic book fan, huge superhero fan. Owen might be even a bigger comic book and superhero fan than myself.
We should do like a test one day. Have like a live quiz or something.
That'd be great. Comic book superhero like trivia.
I'm in.
That'd be sweet. So Steve and Jake and Steve and Ben have done like Dream Golf foursomes. So Free Comic Book Day was this past weekend, and I felt it was fitting that Owen and I build our dream foursomes in golf and make it comic book character edition. Now I was thinking as I was like going through this, do we make it one character per like comic universe? Like, do we pull one character Marvel? We get one DC.
Oh.
One from like indie comics, and then like one from like the newspaper comics.
Yeah, I like that.
So there it is. Those are the categories. We each get one that. Marvel, one DC, one indie comic, and then one like newspaper clipping comic. So Owen, I will let you take the floor and take your first pick.
I'm gonna go with my easiest one here. Marvel Universe, in a heartbeat, any day of the week. Peter Parker, Spider-Man. It's favorite hero of all time. That'd be such a cool little like, I don't know, like talking to him. I think would be a lot of fun. But that would just be a blast. I think would be absolutely fantastic.
Now, if we're personifying it for human life aspect, are we going Toby? Are we going Andrew? Are we going Tom?
This just made this question a lot harder. I don't know. I'm stuck between Toby and Tom for different reasons for each. Toby was the first Marvel movies that I had seen. Holds a lot of nostalgia, just for me and everything. And like growing up, I was 4 when the first one came out, because the first one was 2002.
Mm-hmm.
So like obviously like I didn't watch it then, but like growing up, I remember like countless rewatches and everything, and just like picking up like more and more and more as I watched the movies. And he's so good as Peter Parker and Spider-Man. I think he's fantastic. Tom, on the other hand, I think is truly the perfect embodiment of Peter Parker, and he does a great job of blending the like awkward shyness versus the funny kind of sarcastic kind of like asshole almost to a point when he's Spider-Man. And I'm also like, I'm a big believer in like, I've seen people say before, like, Spider-Man shouldn't use like any technology, like blah blah blah. It should just be strictly spandex. But like I think Tom's suits minus the Iron Spider one do a good job of blending the like spandex and tech part of it, which like I'm a believer of. Like it makes no sense for him just to have spandex. He should have a little bit of tech considering how smart he is. I would have to go Tom, just because I think he's also a golfer. I think he golfs a lot. So I would definitely have to say Tom Holland. Yeah.
I was going to
That
say,
was very
I don't know
drawn
if Toby's
out.
back would hold out.
Yeah, probably not. Although, come on, could you pass up the opportunity of him saying that line?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, he like hits a drive, then he's like, "Oh, my back."
You want me to crack your back, Toby?
Hey, just put your arms like this. But yeah, Tom.
I'm gonna go with my easiest one. It's gonna be DC, and I'm not a D. If you know me and if you listen to streamers, you know I'm not the biggest DC person, but I have my core like DC fandom. I am going to go with. I gotta go with Batman.
Very good. That's a good pick.
Because Batman keeps his bag on him, which is his tool belt. And he's just going to keep the clubs around him. He's going to keep them things on him. And
keep them things on.
Batman is the best DC hero by far.
I just started rereading the current Batman run in the comics right now. I haven't read that in so long, and I finally found a website that helps me keep track of all the comics that I'm reading. So I'm like, all right, time to start rereading. I've already done the Flash. Forget what else. Oh, I read Nightwing. But I just started Batman too. Yeah, that's a good.
There was this mini series run when I was in college that they did. It was Batman and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah.
It was a 6-book run.
Yep.
So good.
I remember reading that. Yeah, I should reread that.
Good. I loved that. So I'm gonna take Batman for my DC pick. Oh, when you've got Spider-Man in your foursome.
That's good. I'm going DC next, and this one's also pretty easy for me. If I had to choose any one superpower ever, it would be super speed. So I gotta go the Flash. That's second favorite character. It always goes back and forth between Spider-Man and the Flash. In terms of what Flash, probably would be Barry Allen, just because he's the one that I first started reading and everything. I love Wally West. Wally West, the current Flash in the comics, he's a great character. But Barry Allen is just the OG for me. He's when I first started reading comics. He was the Flash. So he holds that OG kind of value to me. Plus, he would just be so good. You know, you hit a slice on a long drive. You're like, yo, can you go grab that for me? He just runs off, grabs it, and brings it back. You never lose a ball. You know, that'd be fantastic. Yeah. I mean, come on.
I like that.
Yeah. I'm prone to hitting slices too, so he would really come in handy. He would really come in handy.
I'm going to go Marvel for my next pick. It's going to be a very head-scratching pick, but I'm going to explain it in the best way possible.
I'm ready for it.
My Marvel pick is going to be Daredevil.
Oh, okay.
Everybody at home, as I said that, is probably like, why the hell are you picking the blind guy? If you watched the Daredevil Netflix show, you can see the rest of his senses are heightened 100-fold.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna hear the way the wind is going. He's gonna hear where the ball is hit, and I think it would just be fascinating to see how he uses his other senses out on the golf course, where it's just an open range. He's got nothing else to worry about, and just see where the ball play, and then you play it where it lies.
Oh, that's good. That's so good.
Plus, he might just use the nunchucks and everything too.
Yeah, he's gonna. That's a really good pick.
He's
I
gonna
really,
hear
really
like
like
the
that.
direction the flag is whipping in the wind and from the pin and everything.
I mean, he doesn't literally do that in the show, but he does like have moments where he reads, like he can feel the wind change or like hear it change. Yeah, that's a solid pick.
It would
That's
just
good.
It'd be a fascinating watch.
Yeah, I would love
Plus,
to
he's
see.
like witty and like fun, so like
Oh, yeah, he's
he'd
so
be
good
great
sometimes.
like banter on the golf course as well. So I'm gonna go Daredevil for my Marvel pick.
That's good. That's really good.
Plus, he's a really good lawyer.
He is a really good lawyer. He could argue his way out of a lot of like bad calls or rules.
Ball's
in
coming
your
his
fa-
way. Somebody yells for. He's just gonna grab it right
He's
out
gonna
of the
grab
sky.
it, yeah, because he's a
Just
really
like
good
a
lawyer.
brick.
Yeah. Ah, I wish I thought of that. That's good. Oh, all right. Who do I have now?
So
I
you have your indie / like wild card pick that could be anything, and then your newspaper comic.
I have to go indie, and this is a little recency bias, and I also just like from reading the whole series and watching the show. I would have to go Invincible. That is, first of all, if you haven't watched that show on Amazon Prime, please do. Very, very good. Such a good show. But he is, I mean, he's pretty much like Superman. That's pretty much what he is. But he's a teenager as well. He's a teenager. So I think out on the course, he would be a lot of fun. He would hit moonshots. Just let's see how far you can hit that ball. It would be like the Mike Trout video of him at Topgolf where he sends it to the moon.
Great.
That's what I would want him there for, actually. Don't even bring him to, like, doesn't even have to try to play the game. Just let me see how far you can hit the ball. Like,
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah, I would have to go Invincible. That would be good.
So mine, it's a little off kilter now since Disney owns them, but I'm gonna go when Dark Horse owned them.
Oh,
I gotta go Dark Horse era Darth Vader.
oh, that's good.
Darth Vader using the dark side of the Force on the golf course.
Oh, I didn't know we had these. No.
Plus, he's just like easily one of the most intense and just like hardcore villains.
Oh
in
my God, yeah.
The comics. Like, if you haven't read anything with a Darth Vader comic, do yourself a favor and like get in on like the true evil that is Darth Vader.
Have you seen, I don't know if this is from the Dark Horse era or if it's from the Disney Marvel era, but there's one of the issues of Darth Vader's comic runs. He's crashes on a planet, or he's like stranded on a planet or something, and there is like hundreds of rebel soldiers around him, and they're like yelling at him. They're like, freeze, we have you surrounded. This man, it's one of the coldest Darth Vader panels I think I've ever seen in my life. All Darth Vader says is, all I'm surrounded by is fear and dead men. And then he just ignites the lightsaber, and that's where the book ends. And I'm like, that's so good. Like, it's such a nice panel. And it's so akin to like the ending Rogue One scene where it's just like, he's just going to mow them down and they stand no chance.
Easy.
Oh, dude, I'd be if I was like a group behind you or something on the golf course and you had Vader in a group.
Good night.
I'd leave. I'd be like, I'm out of here. I'm not messing around with this.
It's a wrap. So now you have your comic book or your like newspaper comic strip.
Newspaper strip comics.
Character.
See, this one's tough for me because I have never really read like newspaper strip comics. Really, the only character I know is Garfield and John. That's it. Oh, you know what? Here you go. I'm gonna go Garfield, just because he's gonna bring the food. He's gonna bring the food for the round.
Yeah.
He'll have the lasagna. He'll have it ready to roll. and he'll probably eat it all himself. But you know what? At least it's there, and maybe get a piece here and there. But I got to go Garfield just for he's going to bring the snacks.
I am also going to go with a cat from the newspaper comic strips, simply because it's very funny, and he's a tiger. I'm going to go Hobbs from Calvin and Hobbes.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
It's like, hey, boys, tiger's coming. It's like, what? And then
What?
Hobbs just shows up.
What a fake out. That'd be such a good way to get in like everybody's heads. Just be like, hey, tiger's coming, and it's Hobbs.
And Hobbs is totally wearing like one of those like flappy like hats with like the pom pom on the top and everything. He's totally wearing one of those on the
Perfect.
course.
Perfect.
So there's our comic book character edition of our Dream Golf foursome. Owen's got Spider-Man, The Flash, Invincible, and Garfield. I've got Batman, Daredevil, Dark Horse, Darth Vader, and then Hobbs from Calvin and Hobbes.
I love it. Who
It's
do we think would
fantastic.
win?
Ooh.
I'd have to go. I gotta go. I'm going your group, and there's one reason why, and it's Daredevil, because the way that man like does everything that he does, and he has all of his senses. That man's hitting holes in one every chance he can get. Like he
Yeah.
knows exactly how hard to hit the ball. He knows everything about the wind, like you're saying, like the distance, like holes in one every single time. Yeah, that's why.
I also think like you've got some advantages up your sleeve. Spider-Man can, put some webs over top of the bunkers. You can put some
Good
webs over
point.
top of the water and everything to kind of
Oh, the webs over the water would be
it's gonna bounce.
huge.
It's gonna bounce
Yeah,
right over the water. That's a huge advantage.
that'd be oof.
I feel like we kind of even out with the Flash and Darth Vader, where Vader can use the Force to go retrieve a ball, and the Flash uses his speed.
True.
Both got orange cats,
Orange cats, yeah, they'll do nothing. It's all right.
and then I think our ace in the hole like advantage player is Spider-Man versus Daredevil, which is also very funny because Daredevil shows up in the latest Spider-Man movie.
Yes, yeah, that'd be really good.
So there it is. Comment your comic book character edition foursomes in the YouTube comment section or in an Apple Podcast review. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple. But from the fun, we move to the real life golf. The AT&T Byron Nelson is the next event on the docket this weekend. Scotty Scheffler, obviously, going to be kind of favored, the big Texas boy.
Oh yeah,
In his backyard. Lots of players. It's 156 guys, I believe, in the field this week. Should be an interesting event coming off of the Wells Fargo last week and everything. Just trying to pull up some interesting. As of right now, no legal sports books have odds on specific players to kind of make the cut or anything like that, as we're recording this on Monday. But I feel like the Byron Nelson's one of those like events that people know about it, but it doesn't get hyped up quite as much as the other like B-level tournament.
yeah. It struggles too because it's following an elevated event.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like any event that follows one of these, like, is going to struggle so much because elevated events, obviously, you have players that are mandatory, like bigger names in the PGA are mandatory to be there because the PGA wants to attract those viewers and make it an exciting tournament to watch and everything. So it's following that, they're going to be like, all right, I don't really like, I'm going to take a week off, like chill out and everything. Like that's the thing. Like, you got Scotty Scheffler in this, you got Terrell Hatton, Tom Kim, Jason Day, you got good names in here, but like you're not seeing like the Rory McIlroy, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, stuff like that. And it's just like, it's tough, but I'm going to watch it. And yeah, I mean, kind of what you touched on, Scotty Scheffler there at the top is just, it's hard to pass up is seeing him as a winner. I mean, he and he and Rahm are just going back and forth with winning tournaments and taking that number 1 ranking.
And it's at the TBC Craig Ranch once again. Relatively new course when you want to talk about ages of golf courses. Only opened in 2004. So it's not even
brand new.
20 years old yet.
Yeah.
So they're hosting it once again this year. Limestone banks of Rowlett Creek crisscross for the holes and everything. Gorgeous looking course. If you go on their website, you can kind of get a full-blown look at everything. It's right down there in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so it's going to be interesting. I think weather-wise in Texas, just kind of seeing how things play out there, how much heat plays into anything, if at all. But like you said, I think it is a tough one to kind of like get in if you're a player, just because it's coming right after an elevated event. How much do the guys who played last week, who are trying to, give it a better effort than they were, for less money this week?
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, it's so tough for the bigger players to come out and be like, all right, like you said, I'm going to come out and play again for less money and everything. And it makes it for one of those, B-level events that, may not attract as much viewers and everything, but they have Scheffler, which is a huge name. So, I mean, that's something's going for it. They got that going for them. But I thought I saw somewhere, I'm trying to look for it now, that the course set up a hole similar to TBC Scottsdale, where they have the 16th hole, and how that is just a stadium and it's 20-something thousand people watching it. I thought I saw somewhere that they were setting that up a very similar hole. So hopefully, if that's the case, it can generate kind of the same crowd as TBC Scottsdale. And
you are correct. It is they're calling it Ranch 17.
Ranch 17.
So I believe it's going to be the 17th hole. It's a fully enclosed stadium.
Yep.
On the course's 17th hole. Of course, the Dallas Morning News make me pay to read that article.
Of course.
Here we go. CBS Sports. So, yeah, they are, like you said, pulling this from the Waste Management, from the Phoenix Open. It's a par 3 17th hole, and this year it's the debut of Ranch 17, along the 17th in an effort to create golf's next premier stadium environment. Hospitality tents were previously located along the 17th during Craig Ranch's first 2 years hosting the Byron Nelson, but changes for 2023 will significantly expand the spectator capacity for the hole. Changes include the addition of bleachers behind the green and 41 new hospitality units, bringing the total to 145 units along the hole. Approximately 6,000 spectators will be able to watch action on the 17th at any given time.
Yeah, and I mean that right there is going to generate a lot more people coming to it or watching it, because I mean, you ever see the highlights from the 16th hole at TBC Scottsdale? I mean, that is wild. I mean, that is strictly there. Like, people aren't there watching golf. People are there to drink beer and celebrate when there's a hole in one. So I don't blame them for trying to capitalize on that and everything. And
that gets the younger fan base in too. Like,
exactly
in a place like Texas where you're trying to, continue building out the sport and everything, kind of in that southwest area. You want to get, the younger fans out there and enjoy like a major four sport environment. You build something like this and you add a cool name like Ranch 17, to kind of make it feel like it's an experience. I think that's nothing but genius by the Byron Nelson here. Yeah,
I really like the move, and basically exactly what you just said. You got to attract that younger crowd. They want to keep. You mentioned earlier in the pod that golf is one of those sports that during the pandemic and everything has exploded in popularity, and they just want to keep going with that. They just want to keep it rolling with the younger crowd, get people in there, kind of make it more about let's make this fun, exciting environment, instead of, following one guy around for 4 hours. Let's watch, 156 guys come in here and try to hit a hole in one and make it super exciting. I really, really like the move.
Big fan of that. And I think without any further ado, we get to our Shoot Your Shot prop bets presented by Wasted Wedge. I want to tell you guys about a brand new way to drink shots with your friends and family when you're playing golf from our new friends at Wasted Wedge. I think this would be electric to have at Ranch 17.
I agree.
Wasted Wedge action going on with your closest 6,000 friends. Wasted Wedge is going to change the way you enjoy celebrating drinking on and off the course. They've revolutionized the old classic shot ski, made it for golf, made it cleaner, made it way more compactable to fit into your golf bag. Transport it easily, and there's extensions for it. They get super long. You keep it compact. It's super cool, and anybody can use whatever alcohol they want because it's plastic shot glasses. You're not using actual glass. There's no hot glue involved. It's not gonna break. It's not gonna create a mess. It's easy to clean up. It's a wonderful thing to bring with you on and off the course. Check out their full lineup of Wasted Wedges and merchandise at wastedwedge.com and find them and follow them on Instagram and Facebook at Wasted Wedge. Remember the name, Wasted Wedge. More shots, more fun. I have a couple props here, Owen.
Okay.
One that you and I were talking about before we started the pod that we kind of both like the odds for.
Yeah.
The odds for there being a playoff. Will there be a playoff? The no odds are at minus 450, but yes is at plus 300, which feels kind of like almost even money in a sense when it comes to something that is an unknown at this juncture. But I kind of like leaning yes for a playoff to happen.
I kind of like it too. I mean, with those, I think I'm going to steal your term from what we said earlier off the pod that, it's kind of like a sweet spot, of like it feels, like, all right, I can get some money out of it. I'll put it in. It's like, it's not too like crazy high odds that you're like, this is not just not going to happen. And I mean, I definitely want it to happen. I mean, golf playoffs are great. It's so cool. It's watching these two guys or two or three guys just battle it out, and it's insane because it's literally like they're just going shot for shot, and it makes for great moments of just like you just need like that one like miracle shot to put it neck like 2 inches from the hole, and then you're good. But
and imagine they make Ranch 17 a playoff hole.
Oh my God, that'd be fantastic. People would love that. That place would be stacked. The merchandise would be flying off the shelves. Yeah, that'd be really good. Really, really good if that was a playoff hole.
So I also have the tournament winning margins. So there's 1 stroke exactly, a playoff, 2 strokes exactly, 4 strokes or more, or 3 strokes exactly. The 1 stroke exactly winning margin is plus 250. We already said the playoff is at plus 300. 2 strokes exactly is at plus 350. 4 strokes or more is plus 400. And then 3 strokes exactly is at plus 500.
I gotta go. I'm thinking of last year, or not last year, last week with Wyndham Clark's 4-shot lead to win, and with Scotty Scheffler being in this group. I almost have to go 4 shots or more, and I think it's specifically because of that or more part at the end.
Yeah.
Like everything is so specific. It's 2 shots exactly, 3 shots exactly. Like 4 strokes or more gives you that room for like you just got to get 4 up, and then you're like, I'm good to go. And like you said, it's great odds.
Plus 400, like that's awesome.
Yeah.
We also have the for the brand prop, a hole in one. Yes is minus 190. No is plus 140.
I'm going. Yes.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna happen.
And if
it happens on 17, like the place is gonna erupt.
That's why I think it's gonna happen. Is because it's this first brand new Ranch 17. First year they're doing it. I think just like that energy of just like, this is this brand new thing we're doing. Somebody's going to hit the hole in one and it's going to be on that hole. And like you said, the place is going to absolutely go bonkers. Like there's going to be beer thrown. There's going to be, it's going to be nuts.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of those. And then I have one more that I pulled up here. So I was reading an article. So this is the third year at Craig Ranch, and we have a 2-time defending champion on our hands.
Oh.
Will K.H. Lee pull off the three-peat?
Like pull off the three-peat.
He's won the event's first 2 years at this course. So Nelson previously had a 2-year run at Trinity Forest Golf Club in Dallas from 2018 to 2019. The 2020 tournament was canceled due to the pandemic after a lengthy stay at TPC Las Colinas in Irving. But K.H. Lee has won the first 2 at this new location.
I'm going no. I'm going no. Because, first of all, for him to pull off the back-to-back, that's huge. To defend your title at a venue is insane. And, I mean, we saw Scotty Scheffler do it this year with the Waste Management, and the odds of winning one tournament in golf is extremely, extremely hard thing to do. So doing it back-to-back again is insane. And then doing it back-to-back is even more, it's just crazy. And I keep going back to this. Scotty Scheffler's in the field. And with the year that he's having, the man is really, really hard to beat. And I don't see, even if Scotty Scheffler doesn't win it, I can't see K.H. Lee going for the three-peat. And I will, listen, if I'm wrong about that, I will happily be proven wrong. And that is fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. But I don't see it happening.
If he ends up pulling a three-peat, I think they just have to rename the course to TPC K.H. Lee.
They should, absolutely.
Like, it's just his tournament now.
Yep.
I agree with you. I don't think he's going to repeat. Do I think he'll play well? Because obviously he's played well the last 2 years. Absolutely. Seeing that information skewed my picks that we're going to get to in just a minute? Absolutely. Is that dumb of me? Probably. But I think we get into it. It's beer money time, everybody. It's presented by our good
beer
friends
money.
over at Kenwood Beer, the official beer of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, 4.1% ABV, 127 calories, 10 grams of carbs, and they just put out on their social media pages, it looks like they're doing a little refresh of the logo. It looks pretty clean. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com and use the Kenny tracker to see who has Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia area. Gear up. You know, we got a basketball team still in the playoffs doing the damn thing. If you want to gear up for the AT&T Byron Nelson and you're in Philly, go see who's got it on tap. Or you can buy Kenwood at your local Philadelphia area liquor store. Or if you're in Eastern Pennsylvania, you can also get Kenwood Beer at your local Whole Foods. Light body, light calories, plenty of flavor, the best light beer on the planet. Must be 21 or older to do so. And of course, guys, please drink responsibly. Owen, we'll get it started with making and missing the cut. Give me one guy you think is going to make the cut and one guy you think is going to miss the cut.
This is tough. We talked about before we started that golf betting is so hard, and I'm not good at betting in general. So if I have to go make the cut, I'm going. I'm pulling this out of left field. JJ Spawn making the cut. No rhyme or reason to it. Let's see what happens. Missed the cut. Missed the cuts. Gotta scroll through my list. I'm going Scott Stallings. Again, no rhyme or reason. Just fuck it. Let's see what happens.
Scott Stallings going to miss the cut. JJ Spawn going to make the cut for Owen. For me, missing the cut, I am going to, and it pains me because he's sneakily, potentially going to be an all-name team candidate at the end of the year for me. D.A. Points.
Oh,
Da Points.
the points. That is a good name.
It's a great name. Don't think he's going to make the cut here. Unfortunately.
DA points.
It's in the game.
I was wondering why it sounded so familiar to me.
And then to make the cut, I am going to rock out with... Let's see here as I scroll through my list. To make the cut, I'm going to go with Dylan Fratelli to make the cut.
Okay.
He's like plus 30,000 to win the whole thing. Don't know if I'm going all the way there, but I think he's going to make the cut and play on the weekend, which takes us to our top 20 pick, Owen.
Top
what do you got
20.
for top 20?
Hold on, let me switch up my... All right. Top 20. I'm going Harry Higgs. Top 20. Harry Higgs. That's a good name, too. The alliteration's there.
Harry Higgs, Philly guy, big Eagles fan.
Is he really?
He is white whale number 1 to get on this show.
Oh, Harry Higgs. You heard it first. Get on the show.
Top 20, Harry Higgs. Love it, love it, love it. My top 20 pick, as I'm scrolling here, I am going to go with friend adjacent to the pod at plus 500, Andrew Novak.
Okay.
Also sounds like he could double up as a tennis player.
That does sound like a very tennis playerish name.
So top 20, Harry Higgs, Andrew Novak. Brings us to top 10, Owen. Who you got for top 10?
Top 10. All right, I'm going top 10. He's plus 650. S.H. Kim. I know his first name, and I'm blanking on it right now. So I'm going with the abbreviation. S.H. Kim. Sung. I got to Google it now. Hold on. Kim Song.
That's Tom Kim, right?
Yes. Yeah. No, it's not Top Kim. His PGA Tour card name is literally listed as S.H. Kim. So that's what we're keeping it as.
There it is.
And he is a name that I will absolutely butcher if I try to pronounce it. So
Kim Song Hyun, I believe.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. My top 10, I am going to go with, let's see, make sure I'm in the right column. I'm gonna go little role reversal on you. You have him missing the cut. I'm gonna have him go top 10 at plus 600. Scott Stallings.
All right, I like it.
Scott Stallings for a top 10, which brings us to top 5.
Top 5. I'm gonna go. I'm going Minwoo Lee. He's plus 850.
I like that.
I feel good about that one.
I like that a lot. I am going to go with KH Lee for top 5. He
Very nice.
is at plus 450, and I feel like if a guy has had success there the last 2 years and has won the whole thing, top 5 is kind of like your little hedge bet there. He's got the resume to show for it that he can perform well at this course. I think plus 450 at a top 5 is great odds for the 2-time defending champ. We'll go with our gimme pick of the week, which is just like, this is guaranteed to happen. You got to roll with it.
Guaranteed to happen. Oh, God. I'm like clicking around, see what else I can find. All right, I'm gonna make this real easy. Scotty Scheffler, top 5. That's my gimme pick of the week. It's plus 100 for the odds, so that's pretty good.
Plus odds there on Scotty.
Yeah.
Gotta love that. My gimme pick is going to be. I'm gonna say. Tom Kim top 10 at plus 190.
I like it.
Tom Kim at a top 10 at almost plus 200 is really nice. So I'm going to say top 10 there for Tom Kim, which brings you to your winning pick.
Winner.
We got winning at the AT&T Byron Nelson.
I'm keeping with my. I know I talked up Scotty Scheffler a lot, but I'm going to keep the new names winning, keep people going in and out. I'm going. I don't know if he's won yet this year on tour. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I'm going to go with Jason Day. Odds for that are plus 1,600. It's a little bit of a reach, but that feels good enough to me that if he has really good weekend, he could do really well.
I like that. My winner. It's pretty crazy odds, but I feel like he's on to something, and the rest of his odds of top 10, top 5 are pretty solid. If we're just gonna stray from the path of Scotty and give everybody something else to play for,
I like it.
And obviously, if you want to play for the KH Lee trifecta, he's plus 2,200 to win the whole thing. I'm gonna go Seamus Power.
Okay.
To win the whole thing at plus 3,500.
Plus 3,500.
I don't know why. It's just speaking to me.
It's that last name, isn't it?
I mean,
Power.
He's that guy. It's the ultimate Irish name right there.
It is.
Seamus
You're
Power. Right. Like, give me Seamus Power to win it all. Plus 3,500. I'd sprinkle a little on KH Lee to 3-peat. Obviously, Scotty's got still pretty decent odds at plus 360.
Yeah.
To win the whole thing. Also, your pick of Jason Day is really solid. He's tied for third in best odds with Tom Kim. Tyrrell Hatton's at plus 1,200. Hideki's at plus 2,200 as well with KH Lee. Lots of names in the mix this weekend.
Lots of names.
So there you have it. Owen's picks this week. JJ Spawn to make the cut. Scott Stallings to miss the cut. His top 20s, Harry Higgs. His top 10, S.H. Kim. Minwoo Lee at top 5. His gimme pick is Scotty Scheffler, top 5. And then he's going with the man from down under, Jason Day, as his winner. I've got D.A. Points missing the cut. Dylan Fratelli making the cut. Andrew Novak, top 20. Scott Stallings, top 10. K.H. Lee, top 5. Tom Kim to be top 10 is my gimme. And Seamus Power as my winner. Oh, and any final thoughts before we head on out of here?
No, I'm again honored to be on the show. Loved it. Love talking golf. This will get my spill out for the week. I won't have to annoy all my friends and family with it now. So, absolutely loved it.
Make sure you guys listen to F1 Underground as well. You guys got your first guest on the show this week.
Yeah,
Mark
great
Schofield.
episode.
Very excited to check that out. Mark's a great dude. He's been supporting me for a while, and to have him now coming on one of our shows is awesome. So very excited. Stay tuned for that. Go subscribe to F1 Underground. Subscribe to this show on Apple and Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Leave a 5-star review. It does go a long way for helping this show continue to grow. Leave a get well message for Steve's wisdom teeth in your review. And also subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. That's where you get full video episodes of this show, F1 Underground, the main pod twice a week, plus every show on our network. You get clips, shorts, live streams, watch-alongs, the whole 9 yards, all on our YouTube channel. We're currently at 451 YouTube subscribers as of this recording, trying to get to 500 by Memorial Day weekend, and obviously on that road to 1,000 subscribers as well. So go subscribe, youtube.com/@undergroundsportsphiladelphia. And, of course, big thank you to Wasted Wedge, the presenting sponsor of this podcast. Make sure you go check them out on social, Instagram and Facebook @Wasted Wedge, and check out everything they have available to you at wastedwedge.com. And get your merch at phiapparel.co and use code UNDERGROUND for 10% off any and all orders. Another episode of the Get in the Hole podcast presented by Wasted Wedge. Steve should be back next week, and hopefully he didn't lose any of his brain cells by getting his wisdom teeth taken out. But for Owen, I'm KB. Enjoy the AT&T Byron Nelson, and we will be back next week for, I want to see what is the next, I feel like Steve right now, not knowing what the next event is.
I should have put it up too. Oh, it's a big one.
It's the PGA Championship.
PGA Championship.
The old PGA Championship next week. So stay tuned for that. We got a big one on deck. Steve's return. You won't want to miss it. But we are getting the heck up out of here. And we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for listening to Get in the Hole, the official golf podcast of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Catch us every week wherever you get your favorite podcasts. And be sure to like and subscribe on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram @GetInTheHolePod and follow Underground Sports Philadelphia @UndergroundPHI. We'll see you next time. And remember, get in the hole!